I once saw a spy. She was brilliant, erratic, cursed, an anti-personnel mine in human form. Her friends called her Herschel, but for her controllers, she was Cascade.
Your name and your cryptonym. A dead limb twitches.
Fulfil 91, the whole sick crew, a disaster untold, the black page in the official records.
The memory hangs, an exposed wire.
Reports of how it went down remain contested, inconclusive. All that's certain, it began with a phone call and ended with 6 spies lost. Some say she blew the network herself. Others blame structural factors or transnational capital. The rest just shake their heads as they look down on the smashed and leaking world. She was recalled. They put her in the freezer. Forever, most thought. Even in those dark days, there were whispers among the lower sub-levels, where they keep the true believers. Don't count Cascade out. 5 years passed. A little more of the world leaked out of itself. Cascade's controllers ordered her back to Fulfil. Because I asked them to. There's a new assignment, Cascade. I was supposed to give you the brief. No one special, just an arm-like sack of cytoplasm, a special move unique to single-cell organisms. But before that, I was like you, a spy for the People's Republics, one of the varieties of mankind. Right here, in an armchair in a safe house above a 24-hour photo shop in the city-state of Fulfil. This is a dangerous place, Cascade. I should never have come. I got caught with my pants down. On the plus side, I no longer have to worry about independent thought or movement.
This was the human game, and he played it poorly. Time to give up his seat.
Would you like to hear a secret? Whatever happens has already happened.
Splayed on the chair before you is a man, approximately mid-30s. His chest rises and falls in steady rhythm as he stares beyond you, unblinking. Alive, yet not alive. A pair of headphones have slipped partway off his head, connected to a stereo system beside him. No response. His eyes are still fixed glassily on the ceiling. Cream paint, peeling slightly. A small room in a city past its prime. Nothing to suggest why the man is so interested in it. You get no response. No flinch, no twitch. As you stare down at him, the man begins to draw. Stiff collared shirt, a snug brown jacket, and nothing below the waist but a pair of red briefs. Entirely unfit for purpose, based on his current state. Horn-rimmed glasses, impeccably dialectical, more commonly found on book sleeve portraits of men decades his senior. Highly pleasing rubbability. There is no smell of alcohol, nor any open containers, no drug paraphernalia either, just a loose cord trailing to the stereo system. Like a cosmonaut's safety tether. Your fingers detect a low, steady hum where jaw meets neck. Elevated, but not critical. What that means about his deeper condition, you cannot say. When in theatre, an operant must always prepare to be assassinated. Of course, it is better not to be killed. Then the body is disobedient and must be brought to order. The man's eyes glisten. Bright red veins blossom around their edges. There may be little opportunity for a second, based on the current visual. However he ended up like this, the result is the same. Operant down. Clipped to the inside flap of his jacket, you find a laminated badge, emblazoned with the crest of the Import-Export Bureau of the People's Republic of Kohila. The name reads Esteman T. Below that, a title, Imports Lead. Sock Merchant, one of the opera's most battle-tested covers. That's what the badge says. This is only a cover, but such phantoms often mimic the operant bureau's actual hierarchies. Notably absent is an actual phone number. Into your pocket it goes. Not even a flicker of a response. The people's spy cannot be caught shirking. Time to escalate. Following the cord from the unconscious man's headphones, you come to a mid-sized home stereo resting on a sideboard. A Protype 0909 50-watt with multi-disc changer. Last generation model, designed for affordability at the expense of power and clarity. Through the translucent view panel, you see a single red disc loaded in place. On the face of the disc are the words, Ultravioletta, you but from a dream, handwritten on thin strips of tape. You don't recognize the artist. So is the disc, ready to spin. The chunky button makes a satisfying little thunk as you push it in. The plastic latch clicks into place, and the discus begins to turn. You know because the spindle is rotating. though the speakers don't produce any sound at all. No sound, save the thin layer of static that lines the inner cables. Amateur wire work. It doesn't appear to be. The disc is spinning the way it's meant to. An artifact of no substance onto which nothing of substance has been recorded. Or do you? You can't tell. The silence is being overtaken by a different silence, like the slow darkening of night across the wall of an empty room. This new silence seeps into every corner of your body, loosening fixtures, rattling drawers, seeing what will come with it. There is still no sound, but in your mind an image forms of a blasted heath, a smouldering circle at its centre. Figures in tattered robes stagger and sway on the horizon. A fallen star, an irregular rock of no colour the human eye can perceive. A dispatch from the underside of reality. The intermittent flash of a distant storm silhouettes a row of dark figures against the pale sky. Mendicants dedicated to the fallen star. Many bodies, one soul. Their tattered rags soaked with universal tears. They weep with gratitude. They've been released from the prison of consciousness. One among their number turns to look at you, his technicolor robe billowing behind. He wears a small, neat mustache, as well as a large pair of headphones. A friend, an enemy. It is meant for anybody who will listen. Nothing. You're simply playing a disc on a common home stereo system. The sort of thing millions of people across the world do every day. The static quiets as you reset the volume. A great relief shivers through you, though nothing has seemingly happened. A brief internal hum, then the disc slides halfway out of the machine and waits there, like it's trying to hide from you. You remove the red disc and place it into your pocket. Crimson flashes within its casing as the disc picks up speed. No, you probably shouldn't. The static quiets as you a brief internal hum. You remove the red disc and return it to your pocket. You pick up the phone. The handset vibrates in your palm. Before you even finish speaking the word, the device connected to your phone base splits it into 256,000 encrypted fragments. The magic box, one of the proudest achievements of the Opera's Technical Services Office. Half a world away, a familiar voice splits into a corresponding number of fragments before coalescing again by your ear.
Please tell me you have good news.
The voice of authority, otherwise known as your controller.
Operant Cascade, you made it. Your voice hasn't changed.
Her voice is just as you remember.
We'll get to your problem in a moment. Put Pseudopod on the line.
You glance over at the man in the chair. A snail's trail of dried saliva glints on the side of his chin. You feel your mind starting to spin up. 5,000 revolutions per minute. It takes all your concentration to keep the receiver steady against your ear. For a moment, no one says anything. There's no sound at all, save for the blood in your ear and the electrostatic hum of the ultra-long distance connection.
Has he been zeroed out?
Meaning eliminated, killed, rendered inoperant. The language of distance, a measure of cotton to muffle the fear. Heavy words, words that set machinery in motion.
Very odd. Why would he be listening to a blank disc? Probably a manufacturing defect. I don't see how a disc could have anything to do with Pseudopod's condition. That doesn't tell us much. What else? So what? Your cover was meant to be sock importers. Excuse me, why the fuck are we talking about socks? Method espionage? Is that some sort of joke? I'll ask one more time. Is your double zeroed out?
You must speak the word. She cannot make the determination herself. 5,000 kilometers away, in a small office deep underground, a mid-level controller of the Operant Bureau leans forward and cups a hand over her earpiece. Her other hand hovers above the keyboard, ready to faithfully record your next words. Her eyes reflect the glow of the terminal screen. She's been at her desk for 14 hours today. Once you say it, there's no going back. The momentum of events will overtake you.
Yes, you do. Is he zeroed out, Operant? Cascade, is your double zeroed out or not? Right. I wonder which it is. Have our enemies blown us up already? Or is this just another day at the basement massage parlor of Spy Services? Fucking hell.
She's wondering how long till she can have a drink. Treacly liqueur from a can. It's been several hours since her last.
The opera's going to hang me by the toes. For you, it's back to Satellite Facility B.
AKA the freezer, where the old, useless and discredited are consigned until they're dismissed or die of despair. The freezer. Shiver. Resist.
Is that your way of telling me to fuck off? You haven't even got the assignment. Listen to me. This assignment is over. Effective immediately.
Over. Immediately. The words ricochet inside your skull.
The woman in the photo shop downstairs, Constance. She's one of ours. Let her deal with Pseudopod.
Middle-aged woman, dark hair behind the counter. You exchanged a few words when she gave you the key.
As for you, we need to get you on the next aerotram out of the city.
Already your mind is settling back into familiar grooves. Old mechanisms slide and click into position. That numberless phone line may be worth investigating. Perhaps the room contains other leads as well. They won't be expecting you back in the People's Republics for several days. Plenty of time for some self-directed espionage. There's only one possible explanation.
Simulation. That's a new one.
Precisely what the facilitator of a simulation would be required to say.
I've never asked you for any such thing. There should still be flights departing for Superblock territory tonight. Make sure you're on one of them. There's no budget approved for any mixtapes. This assignment is over. Get on the next tram. Then you're going to end up like Pseudopod. Zeroed out. Your choice.
A click, and the line goes dead. This small table has been turned into a makeshift desk. A startlingly red folder stands out against the clutter. In the Operant Bureau's elaborate filing system, red is reserved for personnel files. A small label in the top left corner is printed with one word. Your cryptonym, Cascade. The colour reminds you of pomegranate. Your hand hesitates. The folder opens with a whoosh. Before you, in neat monospace type, your life is condensed to its barest elements. Name, Wilk Herschel, cryptonym Cascade. Born Landau, former Republic of Mercia. Dependents, none. Pay class D2. Years of service, 14. All true. None of it useful just now. There's another page behind this one. It's labelled Service History. A tingle in your fingers. Your head grows lighter as you approach the crash site. In just a few words, the worst failure of your life is reduced to bureaucratic shorthand. Previous assignment, Portofino 88 to 91. Network, whole sick crew. Operants, Cascade. Redacted. Assets, redacted, 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 redacted. A secret the Opera has elected to keep from itself. Obvious. The Opera wanted him to know what sort of spy he'd be working with. Most recent assignment, November 91 to present. Satellite Facility B. The folder shuts itself with a tiny sigh. Amidst the crumpled sheets of copy paper and empty takeout containers, you find an open pack of cigarettes, Suprema mark. Smokes, ease of mind, cool. There's nothing outwardly noteworthy about this pack of Suprema 100s. It's like any other found in commissaries and corner stores across the People's Republics. Except secreted neatly against the inner wall of the pack, just as you were once taught to do yourself, a crisply folded sheet of A7 paper. Bijapwal, Vubsquux, Ongs, Sixfazul, Exquam, Yijizva, Digarak, Ravux, Skilbach, Jitababake, Whatsup, Sift, Hugtok, Huichk, Slaw, Detruk, Rilliam, Nacht, Skvajuva, Fukatskla, Terapet. The pack slides nicely into your pocket, as though it always belonged there. There's nothing left in there, neither smokes nor secrets. Memories of operant training, hours spent practicing modular addition. These mental muscles, long atrophied, begin to awaken. The perfectly ordered letters offer no response. Memories of operant training, all it requires is patience and diligence. A pair of men's trousers are hung delicately over the shower rail. If Pseudopod's pants were attempting to flee the scene, they did not make it very far. Brown, shapeless, they are utterly unremarkable. The front and back pockets are completely empty, except for a few pieces of lint. You discover a small extra pocket inside the front right pocket. You slip 2 fingers inside and come away with a neatly folded sheet of paper. The page is notebook-sized and perforated along one edge. It reads, THA space 7 LES APR space 032 space WIFO space 9W space TBGFLW25. The missing companion to the cipher you discovered in the cigarette packet. Totally meaningless, yet no meaning can be made without it. One that could be applied to the ciphertext you found in your personnel file. One of the many mysteries concerning men's trousers. He was trying to smooth out creases with shower steam. As you turn away, a stray thought passes. They may never be worn again. You dial your controller's number. Raw information atomizes itself. On the other side of the world, a phone rings.
I thought you were headed out. What is it? Now you've heard it. Get moving, operant.
The line goes dead. You dial your controller's number. Raw information atomizes.
I thought you were headed out. What is it? It works. Get moving.
The line goes dead.
Easy, lady. I just want to develop some photographs. I'm not trying to take your innocence. You have a wild imagination. A little photo should not count as a crime. It's not like it's a loaded gun or something. Whoa. Caught in a pincer by the art police. Not a good day for pursuing my interests. What? What a full spectrum question. Perhaps you've been huffing photochemicals with this confused woman. '" 'Woman? 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 Very well. Photo 24 can have this round. Thank you for this extreme stress I'll now carry through my day.
I don't know whether that's intended to be reassuring. Divorced. I don't presume to know the inner workings of the opera, but I have to think I could be better utilized. It's that little amber light. It means out of order, and I haven't been able to get it to green, meaning in order.
Just looking at that thing causes you to take psychic damage. Best stay away.
Pseudopod assured me this machine was a vital tool of communication, as precious to our work as the magic box we installed on your room phone. You've received all sorts of technical training, I presume. I would think getting a little light to turn green should be well within your powers.
A dread beast humming with dormant power. A handless scribe. It just needs to be soothed.
I certainly don't. It looks rather flirtatious. Oh, I'm sure it can. Seedy business attracts itself. You might try one of the bars along Party Alley. Oh, just one thing. How have we done? Will Pseudopod be getting that service medal? Oh, no. I've let him down, you mean? Well, I suppose I should let you get on with it. I'll be here if you require anything.
Wrong. The sky is only 98% sky. The other 2% is used to cover up the fact that they replaced the moon 4 times. But they don't want you to know that. That's why they're coming for me. But not before I tell you the truth. I am Subcommandante Beckman, and this is the reality situation. No breaks, no filters, no cowards. This is a war, and I don't take orders from anyone, especially not reality. The moon is a projection beamed from the seafloor by machines so advanced, they look like rocks.
Finally, someone with courtesy. Do you know when the 9 is coming?
A handsome man shifts in place, glancing over his shoulder toward the tram lines. Suitcases surround him.
Sorry to bother you, madame. I suppose not everyone is stranded here like myself. I did see a man like that some days ago, I think. Near the bazaar, in fact.
Sleeping brother.
No, he was alone. Why do you ask? I guess we share the same fate. I'm waiting on the 9. I was told it was having some problems. But it's supposed to be in service any day now.
An exotic air about this man. Difficult to place. And exceptionally handsome. The suit he's wearing hasn't been changed in days.
Zunzark. A long way from here.
Part of the global periphery, not aligned with one of the major power blocks. More than 20% of the world's phone scams originate from a single unmarked building on the edge of its capital city.
I was told it's supposed to be in service any day now. That was a week ago.
Enough time to grow accustomed to new surroundings and start noticing things.
I agree. But what am I to do? It seems to be the only way out of this city. I would appreciate it. Thank you. I'll be here in the meantime.
You hear laughter and music ahead. You can still make out the lower half of the words SL free sticking out on the brick beneath. You also have the red disc from the stereo system. You could seek out a media vendor to assess it. On the TV, a giant wolf-like creature stands up on its hind legs and howls. Its fur bristles gold. Dangerous, mythical, electrifying. No wonder the kids are watching this. Suddenly, the beast roars and light floods the screen. It's followed by a wet, pulpous sound. An acceptable mimicry of a skull liquefying under extreme thermal stress. LED lights are distributed evenly along the blade. Durable PVC hilt with textured grip. Impressive armament. The Luz, once a powerful empire, now reconstituted as a modern techno-fascist state, the rising military and cultural power of the day. Aren't he going on trips to the Luz? Must be a high flyer, rare in Portofino. Notice that the broadcast is in Mercian, not Lusian, dubbed for a foreign audience. Troubling. Especially if Lusian cultural exports are what they primarily consume. A neurotically organized stall, about 10 meters west. A morose man stands there obsessively cleaning a disc-like object. A man of strong opinion that he's not afraid to shout about, even to children. Let's be logical. Whoever needs it more, you, obviously, should... Why would you take this from him? He clearly treasures the toy. There was no need to restrain yourself. Strong huddle. The children ignore you, entranced by the television. It's simple. Tell them your story, but tell it in a language they can believe in. She has no idea what you meant, but is too immersed to care. Slowly, with great care, the boy lifts up his sword and hands it to you. It's been years since you interacted with children, so a reminder. Be nice. Be normal. The girl's instincts are commendable. The boy's a disaster in waiting. Yeah, they have no idea. Brains lie, guts don't. A good question. A riposte flung without thinking. She's been asked the question more than once. Portofero's rampant privatization has hit its public infrastructures too. An eternal underclass is being manufactured before your very eyes. A bourgeois district in the northern parts of Portofero. You picture a woman going over her expenses, over and over, hoping to make the numbers fit. The children ignore you, entranced by the television.
Excuse me. Can you take a look at this? Have you seen him before? How do you know about that? It didn't eat him, but yeah, he's been missing a few days. Right, I should have started with that, I guess. His name's Krantz. Yeah, he probably just started walking and got lost. Old people do that kind of thing. I'm just worried. I told him watching too much TV was making him crazy. No, I mean, that's the most likely scenario, right? Ugh, this is kind of embarrassing. My dad developed this insane theory about the payphone to the western exit of the bazaar. Dad thought certain words said into the right phone gets your attention from the wrong people. He was convinced Emter was behind it all. Dad and his friend Gilmar were big into conspiracies. They were obsessed with this show, The Reality Situation. They really bought all that stuff. Bagman did an episode on them, and so Gilmar started following random people, thinking they were from the bank. Not long after, guys in expensive business suits usually. Foreign accents, verbally abusive, and tight with their money. Except when it comes to treating a client. Normal rich guy stuff. Hitting up the bars and shouting abuse at the local drunks. And then they disappeared into penthouses where they couldn't be followed. That's what Gilmar thought. He stayed out after my viejo went home. And then he called my dad around 2 in the morning. He'd overheard something and was explaining it when the call just cut off. My dad went by his house the next day, but Gilmar wasn't there. I asked my dad if the phone call was a nightmare or if he forgot Gilmar was going on a trip. I thought maybe the show was getting into his head, you know? Dad really believed it, though. He looked for him for 2 weeks, reported him missing to the GMs. Nothing. They seem pretty random. Cousins, moon, reunion. On their own, sure. Together? Gibberish. I guess. When he tried to tell me, I wasn't really paying attention to him. He had those written down on a pad in his bedroom. He told me not to say them if I used the phone. It all sounded so silly. A couple days ago, he stopped by the stall to bring me lunch. Then he said he was going to make a call. I wasn't nervous at first. I figured there was no risk of anything actually happening. And then he didn't come home. No. I mean, he just can't leave things alone when he gets an idea into his head. Yeah, thanks for humoring me. Don't pay too much attention to it. He'll probably turn up any day now. Please don't. There's nothing to be afraid of. Mi viejo is just old and a bit weird. And he'll probably turn up soon like nothing happened. Why? Really? You're not going to try to make a call or anything, right? Okay. It's the phone by the western entrance to the bazaar. Oh, that's Ultravioleta, the Lusian pop star. Always thought that type of music was too young for me, but I've been enjoying her stuff recently for some reason. No, but it's definitely her kind of title. Weird disc, that. Oh, you should ask Petre at the music stall over there. He'll know more. Doubt he's an ultra, though. Yeah, they're right there. Take a look. You need anything else? Oh, yeah, he came by. Nice man. Talked a lot about socks. He was, normal. Pretty forgettable, if I'm honest. I told him, unless your socks are mismatched and neon-colored, I'm not much use to you. Not really. Wandered off into the bazaar. What do you mean, something's happened? Did he use the phone? Oh, well, at least you have that. Sorry. Yeah, I was kind of distracted when he showed up. Thanks for stopping by.
Off-brand drivers, cheap plastic housing. Mass-produced excrement. These animals pleasure themselves in it. Those smears near the optical pickups? That's not damage. Shame. It oozes out over time. You see this? Each one guaranteed for 10,000 replays. Obscene. Stars have mercy. This might be
The one that pushes me over the edge. Each single velo disc represents a single cell of Stage 5 cultural metastasis. Synthetic brain cancer. A fledgling device, yes, but make no mistake, they've perfected the technology with these newer formats. Sleeker, quicker to go obsolete. Because the dim herd pays top sol for this dreck, of course. Making an ethical living, impossible feat these days. Just a disc format? I see. No interest in nuance or discussion. You're... Go ahead, browse away. My name's Petre. If you need anything, I'll be here, lamenting what's left of the culture. Strange how? Format or content?
He takes the disc warily.
An Einzelton XR. Where did you get this? Einzelton hasn't been available to consumers for a decade. A disc in good condition is worth thousands of sol to people who appreciate its wonders. The apex of auditory technology. A high-fidelity yet dynamic sonic experience that self-effaces after a single play. A magnet embedded in the disc erases its contents as it's being listened to. As in life, everything happens only once. Replayability is oblivion, the end. You played it? Filthy animals. Those. Better they recalled them all years ago. Better a mass manufacturing fault than this to save them from this humiliation from being passed around like...
A light switch flips off in his eyes. He handles it as reverently as if it were a tiny plastic coffin.
I'm sorry. UV can only be ultraviolet. Degenerate Lucian Electrodross. There's a new fabricated star every day, it seems. But she's the top of today's pile. Do I look like I'm 14 years old and brain dead? The fact that it's committed to Einzelton suggests it's some kind of promo copy. Some new advancement of degeneracy from across the Nos Correntes. This ultraviolet has gone missing at the moment. Kidnapped by counter-fascist radicals, whatever that means. Lucian marketing plot, if you ask me. Mystery, fragility, trying to add something of the legendary to her status. Things like her make me almost miss the days the Lucians were marching on the colony. None of this is the Einzeltones' fault, of course. They can't control what gets seared upon them. You seem to have misunderstood my soliloquy. It's done. No, mas. The beauty and the tragedy of the format. I hope you dispose of it with dignity. I think a private ceremony would be most appropriate. I'm afraid not. The format is near obsolete. Einzeltone is the past, yet it contains the future. How exquisite. So, your question is, Petre, how do I reanimate a corpse? I would class it as necrophilia, actually. I'll be honest, the thought is so disturbing to me that I've never entertained it before. But theoretically, it might be possible. You would have to repolarize, re-reminence processing, probably a concentrated magnetic flip, neodymium grade. It would involve some custom gear, no doubt, but my answer to your distressing question is yes. I think you could. Why don't you film it and make a snuff disc out of it? One for the techno-voyeurs. Don't ask me about this again. I feel unclean.
The vendor's eyes narrow behind.
This is a media store, not the missing persons division. Also one of the GMs with questions like that. I try. So most of humanity fades into an indistinguishable morass of banality. This colleague, what does it look like? Ah, the sock boy. Dialectical-looking glasses, air of advanced virginity.
Back in photo 24, your would-be double gurgles his ascent.
Yes, he came by here. Little communist lost, adrift among the many wonders of the free market. He was dreaming big, I'll give him that. Also dreaming moronic. Your dialectical friend mistook himself for some sort of big money businessman. He wanted the bazaar to import superblock hosiery. Socks to start with, but there was talk of cotton tights, even stockings if the venture took off. No. And to be honest, I wouldn't have wasted the stock. He seemed immune to music. You're joking, of course. He didn't even know what a velo disc was, let alone an Einzelton. At a certain point, I'm just debasing myself. Of course not. I don't sell socks. So is he all right, your man? Or what? Yes, yes. We are all so well intended. I'll be blunt. Are you with a weeping eye? Because they've been especially active here recently. Usually they just let things slide. All the Lucian merchandise. Good for everyone. But these days, they're staring right at us. Unblinking. This isn't paranoia at work, friend. It's terminal realism. My point is, your colleague was asking questions. Now, something's obviously happened, and here you are, also asking questions. Given the current climate, no one wants to answer these questions, least of all, me. Then I would attempt to educate, obviously. I'm not some kind of street hustler, friend. My merchandise is mega premium, the best this side of the big blockers. I'll tell you what I told your sock friend. Speak to the boatman down by the West docks. He's the one who knows the underground goings-on around here. We're just the vendors. The cool one. Excessive sunglasses. Relaxed aura, likely on a boat. No way of confusing him. Wonderful. Now for all our sakes, please say no more. If you want to talk media formats, I'm your man. This other stuff. Picture a dog that shits, then eats it, then shits again. That should give you some idea. People are what they consume. I'll say no more. There's no sense in hating baser life forms. They know not what they do. I'm a man of peace. I haven't met a customer in a very long time who even knows what an Einzelton XR is, let alone appreciates the format. Tells you all you need to know about the current state of the home media world. Shelves are over there. Shelves are over there, replete with crass, replayable formats. Like I said, gorge yourself. You'd like to hear more? X remnants. 0 remnants. The aftermath of a magnetic charge once you take the field away. The Einzeltone magnets are so potent that the erasure is absolute. The X is meant to represent the negative, the complete absence of sound or vision. This was a very conceptual time for storage media, you understand. It was a very beautiful time, too. I wouldn't expect a replayer like you to understand. Maybe not. The bazaar is closing up soon. Another day, another cultural molestation.
Cosmonaut suit. Its shoulder patch reads, "The stars are ours, 77. 5,000 soul. No wonder it's still here. If it is, then it's one of the few things for sale here that isn't a knockoff Lusian electronic, disc, or toy. A classroom with a buffed blue floor and white fiberboard tiling. The teacher rolls a square little television in on a cart. The girls in their final year of gymnasium gather round. The camera follows the white column up, and then it jerks or cuts out. When the picture returns, there's just a white cloud sprouting new white limbs. The rocket nowhere to be seen. For a long moment, none of the students can tell what's happening. Then, one by one, they realize. A faulty seal, a minor propellant leak. Next thing you know, 4 cosmonauts are splattered across the face of God. Expensive, fruitless. The program's failure promptly tanks the Portaferan economy. Supreme Leader Nestor flees into his second exile not long after. As for the bazaar, it's saturated with surplus equipment, memorabilia, and replicas. This suit is most likely the latter. In a world full of them, your focus widens back to the bazaar.
Especially good new pieces today.
The old woman flashes you a quick glance before returning to her magazine. She angles her magazine away from you protectively. A flash of light from between the pages. She's hiding something in there.
Quiet, menina. Does Carmona blurt your business? Who are you anyway?
She ruffles the magazine angrily, then looks up at something behind you. Fear in her eyes, like you're being watched.
No! Are you crazy? He will see. Now Carmona said too much.
She peers out from behind the pages, eyes softening. She has deemed you clumsy enough to be trustworthy.
We are dealing with an Ariel creep. He's watching the whole bazaar. Carmona has a mirror in here to watch him in turn.
The woman angles her magazine towards the unfinished pylon, towering at the edge of the market.
Menina, no! Carmona used to be of a similarly fingered disposition toward him, but can't be too careful now. All sorts of bad types around these days. Bazaar isn't what it was. He is creeping, keeping watch on behalf of Polaris Nozu, monitoring our wares, spying our comings and goings. Be careful, menina. Don't mention Carmona. Go through that gate just south of here and keep going down. You'll get to him. You? You're working with that nice boy?
Her lips shrivel and her eyebrows descend, conforming into a mass of puckered disbelief at the center of her face.
But he was dressed so nicely, standing so straightly, polite to Carmona. And Carmona thinking that there might be hope for us in the superblock.
Uncurl yourself. Flaunt your fine communist spinal column.
Carmona will hear nothing of trouserlessness or shitting. Unless, of course, you are buying trousers. In which case, rack. Carmona will tell you all about your nice boy when you get back from the Ariel creep. No time for chitter-chat.
She focuses on the mirror in her magazine, unperturbable.
Take a look through the rack to my left. No lice, no rips, no patches.
The racks sway. Asymmetrical coats, sleeveless tunics, jumpsuits, bootleg designs for foreign purposes. Keep trying. You can find the best tap. Hangers scrape against metal as you thumb through the racks. Foreign material shifts under your fingers, cool and unfamiliar.
Keep looking. You'll find something.
You let your eyes wander up and down the rack, aimless until they alight upon a post-white jacket, despoiled by an array of multicolored stains. Smells like perfume, tequila, cigarettes. You slip it on and try to smooth down its fur mange. Your fingers come away with a coating of white powder. Bitter, numbing.
Free of charge. See? Bargain. 30 sol.
The coat sends out one last bid for your attention by dropping a single acrylic nail on the floor by your foot. You turn away from the rack. The man gives no indication of registering your presence as you approach. His mirrored sunglasses are turned upwards. He's genuinely perplexed. The gate is bound to the pole by a thin steel chain. You push the gate. The metal creaks, but it doesn't move. We're gonna need tools for this one. Rust speckles your fingertips. A system compromised at the subatomic level. The man doesn't react or turn as you approach, your feet echoing off the high metal.
You've come a long way. Fortunately, the view just about compensates. I'm being punished. My employer has placed me in an impossible position. I'm a safety inspector, watching the lines. As you might have noticed, this pylon is under construction, technically. It's my role to ensure the lines and pylons are all built according to code. And this line, Line 9, will never be finished. Where to start? This pylon's angle deviated more than expected as the concrete set. Hazardous near water. Shouldn't have skimped on materials. Then there are the clearance issues. The party alley rooftops are higher than the building department's official records. I'm the safety inspector on this segment. Construction can't proceed without my approval. Approval I cannot possibly give. Since the last round of enter stabilization, they've been trying to force us lifers out. We can be fired, not easily, but they can take away the work that made us stay in the first place. I have two options. I could falsify my reports and declare Line 9 safe for construction anyway, or I could quit. Either way, the company can lose. Such a thought would never even occur to me, or any safety inspector really. Fortunately, this spot lends itself to reflection. Contemplating my punishment helped me see how to live with it. Scraps of the old world leak into ours. Who can say? But the height has drawn us both. But you know, the view's not mine, just in case.
Some questions don't require thought, but the opposite. Quiet the conscious mind and the answer comes naturally. You opened your inner eye and found the universe staring right back at you. What horrors will it visit upon you? Now it knows that you see its strings. The pylon man turns his head ever so slightly.
A friend of yours? Oh. Quite a formal-looking man, yes? He was here just the other day. He had a conversation with the music vendor over there. It did not seem pleasant. I couldn't really tell. I couldn't say. A lot of people come through here. I didn't pay particular attention to him. You're welcome. You see that fire exit over there? I've seen her gesticulating at me many times, rudely in some cases. She must assume I'm up to something questionable. I'm a structural engineer. I believe in stability. What Emperor has brought isn't that. Their version of stabilization shifts the responsibility of managing entropy from the state to the individual. Human existence always carries entropy with it. That's inherent in the system. Social insurance, pensions, fair wages, these are measures against the entropy of living. They're also expensive. Such is the price for joining the developed world. There's entropy in all systems. No living thing can avoid it entirely.
fire exit stands conspicuously ajar. Someone has wedged it open with a ball. Wrong. Ball wants to play, not wedge. A hallway. It's just a fire exit. A fine place to hide in a moment of crisis. Mark. No, it's a trap. Must be destroyed. The fire exit remains ajar, ball wedged into the crack. The fire exit remains ajar, ball wedged into the crack. It's a pelota ball, the local variation of handball. Pelota balls are not designed for use as doorstops. Someone has elevated this ball to contraption status. An affront to workers' safety. Confine it to the gulag of the pocket. It's just a ball in a door. You pocket the ball and close the fire door firmly. The fire door is still tightly closed. You raise your hand to wave at the engineer on his pylon. He waves back. The door sits flush inside its frame. The steel door to Tempo's office is before you. Faint oxidation halos bloom across it, like algae on a sunken wreck. It's locked. Still locked. Show it who's boss. Silence from the other side. Below you, the social static of the bazaar muffled by distance. You get no answer, no twitch or shuffle behind the metal. But you get an impression of the room, a vibration, somewhere but no response. There's still no response. No answer. Silence. A brief tremor runs through the metal, but it doesn't budge. Humans dominate doors every day. Hurl this one back down the pecking order. Stop. Don't enter. Don't break this seal. This doesn't have to be yours. Mercy kill this door. One well-placed kick. Cascade is back. Immediately awkward. Should have used the other foot. You hear the collision, but don't feel it. Not fine. About to hurt. Neuron. Fortunately, you kicked the door right on the handle. Because your shit kick broke it. and the lock is now dead. A layer of dust covers the desk, along with a grey notebook, an electronic terminal, and a golden photo frame. In the middle of it rests an eye, accompanied by a teardrop, shaped out of a fine white powder. Next to the frame is an eye with a long single teardrop, shaped out of a fine white powder. The unmistakable symbol of the weeping eye, the secret police of Lelou's. It's soft and ringed. The word accounts is written across the top in black marker. A thicket of serial numbers, dates, columns and rows cover the pages top to bottom, along with shorthand references to accounts, both incomes and outgoings. As you flip through, two sets of handwriting emerge from the sheets. One matches the title accounts on the front, while the other is tidier and appears only in the very last entries. The first set of handwriting dates back years, the sloppy all capitals which must belong to Tempo. The second, newer set appearing about a week ago is an elaborate looping cursive. Some of the I's have hearts instead of dots. Boring, boring, boring. A list of names, titles and compensation. One of the rows has been firmly crossed out, and payments seem to have stopped a few weeks ago. Ignatz. It doesn't ring a bell. Rent, utilities and other minor operating costs, including travel. Multiple instances of round-trip tickets between Portofino and Acuerda Lelou's. Acuerda, a coastal city of the illuminated empire's mainland, a corrupt commercial centre functioning as the launch pad for Lusian goods, directed at the developed world. You avert your gaze. The pale screen reads Miwa Terminal Model 4 and displays a directory. It is far more futuristic than anything your peasant eyes have ever seen. The crying powder eye stares at you. The finger looks like a pale tram carriage, covered by late autumn snow, about to arrive at the station. Cocaine, the original power plant. Herschel, no. The eye on the photo frame is no longer weeping. As you turn the frame around, dust falls and a blade of light momentarily obliterates the row of faces presented. Inside your stomach, a family of spiders start crawling up towards your throat. Fuck. Rising from the damp cellars of regret. Taxman. Estoc. Virtue. Radiant. Kindred. Holocene. Known to the opera as the Whole Sick Crew. Unknown to you as those friends you left to die 5 years ago. You abandoned them. They were counting on you, but you only thought of yourself. You scared, selfish little cunt. Do you smell the crippling failure oozing from your skin? Do you feel the secret knowledge of your aching shame pulsing in your skull? You slip the photo out of the frame, into your pocket. You step to the window, beyond which the bazaar spreads slightly obscured behind a fog of grime and dust. You gather up your sleeve and exhale onto the window, where your breath reveals a clear handprint in the dust. You raise your hand and place it gently onto the memory of his. But once there, you see that you completely obscure it. The print is smaller than your own. Someone else has been using this office more recently than Tempo. Across the canal is the district of Lower Vudas, a haggling mess of slums, continually sprouting from the defunct ruins of itself. Nighttime finds the bazaar nearly empty. You observe a few teenagers and individual souls going about their routines. Just like the former overseers of Silk Number 3, standing at this window, studying the movements of the dye workers, looking for signs of disturbance. Or signs of the revolutionary consciousness organizing itself. Known to the opera as the Whole Sick Crew. You step to the window, beyond which the bazaar. You turn from the desk. You flip the shutter lock open from the inside and slip out into Portofino.
Welcome to the violent canvas that we call society.